So you've built this awesome Docker image, right? It works perfectly, but there's one tiny problem. It's stuck on your laptop. Today, we're going to set it free. We're going to take that local image and blast it out to the world by publishing it to Docker Hub. I mean, we've all been there. You run Docker build, you run Docker run, your app spins up, and it's just this beautiful moment. But it's a solo performance, happening only on your machine. And that's the big question, isn't it? How do you actually get this thing onto a production server? How do you share it with your team so everyone's working with the exact same setup? Or how does your CI/CD pipeline, your automated workflow, get a hold of it? You can't just email a gigabyte-sized image file around. You need a central, shared space. And that solution is what we call a container registry. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like GitHub, but instead of storing your code, it stores your ready-to-run container images. It is the central library for all your Docker apps. Now, there are a bunch of options out there. Amazon has one, Google has one, but today we're going to focus on the big one, Docker Hub. It's free, it's popular, and it's the perfect place to start. And the best part? Getting your image from your laptop out to the world is actually super straightforward. We're going to break the whole thing down into just 3 main steps. No magic, just a few commands. First, we'll authenticate, basically proving to Docker Hub who we are. Second, we're going to tag our image, which is just giving it a proper name so Docker Hub knows where it goes. And finally, we'll push it up. That's the whole workflow. You log in, you tag it, and you push it. Okay, let's dive right into step 1. We need to connect our terminal to our Docker Hub account. Now, if you don't have one yet, just pause right here and go create a free account over at hub.docker.com. And hey, pick your username carefully, because it's going to become your personal namespace. It's the unique prefix for all your images. So pop open your terminal and just run this simple command, docker login. That's it. It'll ask for your username and your password. You type those in, hit enter, and you should see a really satisfying login succeeded message. But hang on, here's a really important pro tip. For security, using your main password everywhere isn't great. Instead, go into your Docker Hub account settings, click on the Security tab, and create something called a personal access token. You can name it something like My Laptop. It'll generate this long, unique string of characters for you. Then, when you run Docker login, you'll still use your username, but when it asks for a password, you paste in that token instead. This is so much more secure, because if that token ever gets compromised, you can just revoke it without having to change your main password. All right, we're authenticated. Now we're on to what is arguably the most important step of the whole process, tagging. This is how you tell Docker not just what the image is, but who it belongs to and where it needs to go. See, Docker Hub has a very specific naming rule. It has to be your username, a slash, the name of your repository or project, a colon, and then a tag, which is usually the version. That username part is what links the image to your account. So for me, it would be brain upgrade / my app name, colon, and then something like v1.0. This slide shows it perfectly. On your machine, your image might just be called My Flask app. But to get it ready for Docker Hub, you have to add that username prefix, so it becomes brain upgrade / my Flask app. And while you're at it, it's way better to use a specific version tag, like v1.0, instead of just the default latest. The command for this is docker tag. It's pretty simple. You give it the current name of the image, and then the new, full name you want to give it. So it's docker tag, my-flask app, brain upgrade / my Flask app v1.0. Now check this out, because this is the cool part. After you run that command, if you type Docker images to list your images, you're not going to see a brand new copy. What you'll see are both names, the old one and the new one, and they'll both be pointing to the exact same image ID. And that is the big aha moment right there. The docker tag command is super lightweight. It doesn't duplicate gigs of data. It literally just adds a new label, a new pointer to the image you already have. Think of it like a sticky note. You're just adding another sticky note to the same box. Okay, we are logged in. Our image has its proper address label. We're on the home stretch. All that's left is to actually send it on its journey to the cloud. And the command is exactly what you'd think. Docker push, followed by the full new name of the image we just tagged. Docker is smart. It sees the brain upgrade / part, knows to send it to my account on Docker Hub, and begins the upload. You'll see it push each layer of your image, one by one. And even cooler, if any of those layers, like from your base image, already exist on Docker Hub, it just skips them to save time. And that's it. It's done. Your image is no longer a local secret. It's now living in a repository on Docker Hub, ready to be pulled down by any server, any teammate, anywhere in the world with an internet connection. And here's the ultimate proof that it works. Let's pretend we're on a brand new server. First, we completely delete the image from our local machine with Docker RMI. It's gone. Then we Docker pull that same image name. You'll see it download from the cloud. Finally, we Docker run it. And boom, there's your app, up and running from an image that was just pulled down from the internet. How cool is that? Okay, so now you know the core workflow. But before we wrap up, let's go over a few quick pro tips that will really level up your Docker game. First, get in the habit of using proper versioning for your tags, like 1.0.0. It's so much clearer. Second, take 2 minutes to log into Docker Hub on the web and write a little README file for your image so others know what it does. Third, always use a Docker ignore file before you build. It keeps your images small and clean. Also, keep your base images up to date to avoid security issues. And finally, if your code is secret or proprietary, use a private repository. Docker Hub gives you one for free. All right, let's bring it all home and quickly recap the most important things we've covered. So, to sum it all up, think of Docker Hub as the GitHub for your images. The workflow you need to burn into your brain is login, tag, and then push. That image naming format, username/repository/tag, is absolutely required. And please, for better security, use those personal access tokens instead of your main password. You now officially have the superpower to build an image on one machine and run it on any other machine in the world. That barrier between your laptop and the cloud is gone. So the only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to build and share next?